Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, I'm going to be talking about all the players that we all should be keeping an eye on for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 3 matchup versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And there's a lot that goes into this game, right, in terms of who you should be paying attention to, because the Eagles are a really, really good football team. They just played in the Super Bowl last year, and they are still so talented in terms of just overall roster construction, but the Buccaneers are as well. Hopefully this shapes up to be a very good Monday Night Football game. The first guy I want to talk about is Baker Mayfield, and I'll say this: Baker Mayfield has looked very solid throughout the first 2 weeks of the regular season. What's been so great to watch, in my opinion, has been the lack of mistakes in turnover worthy plays from Mayfield. We aren't really seeing that. Now, is that a product of Dave Canales' offense? Is that a product of Baker Mayfield himself? I think the answer is a little bit of both, right? And it's been a lot of fun to see. Hopefully Baker can keep this up moving forward. He's going to be playing the Philadelphia Eagles, which are much better defensively than the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This is the first real test for Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, and it's a pretty hefty test. The Eagles are just no joke offensively or defensively, especially in terms of pass rush. So let's see how Baker does. And also the offensive line, I think, is definitely in there as well, right? Again, the Eagles have a lot of good pass rushers. They've only added more talents, and they're going to be tasked with protecting Baker Mayfield, opening up some lanes in the running game. Let's see if they are able to do so. I want to talk about Rachaad White also, because Rachaad White has been interesting the past 2 weeks, right? In week number 1 versus the Minnesota Vikings, wasn't necessarily great. Things did get a little bit better versus the Chicago Bears, but I'm still waiting for a big breakout game from Rachaad White, right? Where it's just a game of, hey, Rachaad White is here. This is his backfield. He is a productive running back. We just haven't necessarily seen that yet. And I don't think it's all fully Rachaad White's fault. Part of it can be up to the blocking of the offensive line as well. They've still not really been the best in terms of run blocking, but the Buccaneers are still going to keep on trying to run that football. They're still going to keep on trying to control these games. So you really got to pay attention to Rachaad White, how he's going to be doing in this upcoming matchup. Next, I want to talk about some of the secondary, because right now Carlton Davis has still been dealing with some injury issues. Jamel Dean has still been dealing with some injury issues and whatnot. So, let's pay attention to Keenan Isaac and Zion McCollum. Seems like these guys may be getting some more playing time in this upcoming matchup. They've got a pretty tough task at hand with the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver room. Again, a lot of good guys in there. A.J. Brown's in there. Devonta Smith is in there as well. Good group of guys. Going to be a task here for the Buccaneers secondary for sure. So let's pay attention to those guys. Let's see how they do. I also want to talk about Devin White, because throughout the first 2 weeks, we haven't heard much of Devin White lately, right? And it's been really interesting, because I think with Devin White, specifically linebackers, right? Sometimes it's okay if you're not hearing about them, because that means they're not making any mistakes, but that also means they're not doing anything super flashy or super mind-blowingly impressive either. And I think Devin White falls into that category, where Devin White hasn't necessarily messed up. We haven't seen Devin White do anything bad, and I haven't heard, or seen him do anything where it's like, oh, come on, what's going on here? But I also haven't seen him really go out there and, blow up in terms of blitzing. He's had a couple of plays here and there. He's had a couple of tackles here and there as well, but the consistency of good is still something that you're looking for, especially in a contract year. We've been seeing that with Mike Evans, who's also in a contract year. We've seen a little bit of that with Antoine Winfield Jr., who's also in a contract year, but not so much with Devin White right now. That could all change in this game. I mean, Devin White really gets the ball rolling. He really gets the ball rolling. So hopefully Devin White can pick it up and really just start to showcase his ability. Last guy I want to talk about on the defense, or two guys, I guess I should say. Hey, Shaq Barrett and Jotron Shawinka. What a great game they had last week, right? Jotron Shawinka had 2 sacks. Shaq Barrett had a sack and a pick 6 to ice the game. Guys were looking good. Let's keep that momentum going, right? Against the Philadelphia Eagles, you've got to have a good pass rush against Jalen Hurts. He's a very mobile quarterback, and unlike Justin Fields, he knows how to run around very well with the football in his hands. So it's really going to be a reliance on Barrett and on JTS as well to put that pressure on Hurts and make sure he can't run that much with the football. Similar things with like Devin White also in the middle, right? So those three guys are all definitely going to be worth paying attention to. And finally, I like talking about these guys. Hey, Chase McLaughlin and Jake Camarda. I think have both had fantastic starts to the year. Chase McLaughlin hit a 57-yarder in week 1, was pretty solid in week number 2 as well. Jake Camarda is still a really, really good punter, one of the top punters in the league, in my opinion. And special teams has been good so far. So let's see that continue. Let's see that continuity keep on going, and good vibes all around. But folks, that's it for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about all the players that I mentioned down in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. Who else are you going to be keeping an eye on in this game? Is it Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Cade Otton? Maybe somebody more specific on the offensive line, like Tristan Wirfs, or maybe Robert Hainsey on the defensive line. Maybe you're thinking about Vita Vea. He's going to have a big role stopping a very potent rushing attack from the Eagles. Just let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. As always, folks, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.